Assalamu alaikum and good morning, class. So let's start our class with a silent prayer. So I want you to read Surah Al-Fatiha with a short dua silently. So once again, good morning, class. So I will be checking your attendance today. So say present if your name is called. So last meeting we have discussed about what economics is. So now let us have a recall. So anyone in this class, just say even a praise only can do. So who wants to volunteer? I will give you a plus point. So kindly raise your right hand and please do stand up. Okay, very good student. Thank you. You've learned from what we had discussed last meeting. So class, let me know your energy check. So you will thumbs up for 100% and you will middle thumbs up for 50% and thumbs down for zero energy. Okay class, we will have an activity that relates to our topic. So we have these pictures. So as you can see in this picture, so I know that you guys are familiar with this. So this is called as 4 Pix 1 Word. So on this activity, I'll divided you into a group uh, or it can be a partner as well. So on this activity also, I want you to think and analyze these pictures that I'm going to give and distribute to you. So these are the pictures that I'm going to give you right now. So, okay, class, go to your group and please do participate. So, okay, class, please submit your answer in a piece of paper at the count of three, two, one. Okay, time's up. So, as you can see, we have this visual aids and those things that I'm going to discuss are included. So we have this topic, which is in our previous lesson, the economics. Now, economics are having two main branches. So we have the microeconomics and the macroeconomics. So just to give you a short idea of what macro is. So this is in the purpose of our discussion only. But our main topic is all about microeconomics. Now, what is microeconomics? So microeconomics, by the given definition, it is the studies of how individuals and consumers and firms make decisions about resource allocation. So pag sinabi natin microeconomics, it is somehow focuses on an individual's economic units such as the households, markets, firms, the interaction. So we have the key concepts of microeconomics. So we have the scarcity, opportunity cost, incentives, and marginal thinking. Now, first is the scarcity. Resources are limited, wants are unlimited. So, pag sinabi natin scarcity, for example nito is ako, gusto kong bumili for example ng iPhone Pro Max kasi nga popular siya ngayon since uso siya ngayon. So, but if I don't have a enough money or kumbaga hindi ko siya afford, so hindi ko siya mabibili. So yun yung sinasabi natin na scarcity, which is even though our wants are unlimited, if the resources are limited, so hindi natin siya makukuha or hindi natin siya mag-purchase. So next is the opportunity cost. So it is the cost of giving up the next best alternative. So for example, sa opportunity cost, so imbes na bumili ako ng textbook kasi nga magagamit ko siya not just today but also in the future. So instead is binili ko na lang is ticket for cinema, ganon. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na opportunity cost. So, next is the incentives. It is the factors that motivate people to make economic decisions. Now, sa incentives naman is, for example, sa isang company, is yung gusto nila magbigay ng bonus sa mga employees who can meet their sales target. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na incentives or short for benefits. So, next is the marginal thinking. It is comparing additional benefits and costs before making decisions. So, sa marginal thinking naman, is sinasabi dito na, for example, ako as a student, so in order for me to have a better grades, so I need to study well. So, ganon. Yun yung benefits. And then the cost naman is, for example, I'm willing to sacrifice my sleeping habits just to have that better grades, kumbaga. So, yun yung sinasabi dito na marginal thinking, which is comparing the benefits and the cost before making decisions. So, moving on to the demand and supply, we have the law of demand and law of supply. So, sa law of demand, when prices rise, consumer buy less. So, dito sinasabi dito na kapag tumaas yung presyo ng mga bilihin, kukunti lang yung bibilin ng mga consumers. So, bumaba, mas gaganahan sila na bumili kasi nga konti lang or mura lang yung presyo ng mga bilihin. So, sa law of supply naman, sinasabi dito, kapag malaki yung presyo ng mga bilihin, mas magsusupply sila ng mas marami. And kapag maliit naman yung presyo ng mga bilihin, so of course, hindi rin sila magsusupply ng marami. So, moving on to the market equilibrium. So, this is where the quantity demand equals the quantity supplied. So, dito, we have the shortage and the surplus. Now, sa shortage, sinasabi dito na if the consumer demands is mas malaki kesa sa producer supply, ang tendency nun is mas lumalaki yung presyo ng mga bilihin. So, sa surplus naman is kapag mas malaki yung producer supply kesa sa consumer demand, ang tendency nun is mas lalaki, mas liliit yung mga presyo ng mga bilihin. So, we have the consumer behavior and then the consumer behavior. So, ang pinagkaiba lang nila sa consumer behavior, ang goal nito is to maximize total utility. So, we have the law of diminishing marginal utility. So, it is an additional units provide less satisfactions. Consumers aim to maximize total utility. So, dito sa law of diminishing marginal utility. So, for example, dito is pizza. Slices of pizza. So, even though naubos mo na yung pizza na yun, is mas satisfiable naman yung una mong kinain kesa sa the rest or the subsequent na slices of pizza. So, yun yung sinasabi dito sa law of diminishing marginal utility. So, another example is watching TV. So, even though matagal ka nang nanonood ng TV, is yung 1 hour doon is yung pinaka-entertaining and is yung one hour dun, is yun yung pinaka-entertaining, and the rest na hours na iginugol mo, and the rest na hours na iginugol mo sa panonood ng TV is the boring. So, next is the producer's behavior. So, dito is, ang goal nila is to maximize profit. So, we have the marginal cost. It is the cost to produce one extra unit. So we have two types of cost na na-mention dito. We have the fixed cost or the unchanging, and then the variable cost, which is the change with output. So moving on to the market structures. So we have the perfect competition, the monopolistic competition, oligopoly. So just to differentiate this, pag sinabi nating perfect competition, pag sinabi nating perfect competition, for example, nito is agricultural markets. For example, um, weight, such as weight, corn, so ganun. So dito sa perfect competition is somehow many firms with identical product, free entry and exits. So while sa ano naman monopoly, which is the second type of market structures, is ano naman siya. For example is utility companies such as electricity, water, so gano'n. So, sa third type of ano naman, sa third type of market structure naman, which is the monopolistic competition, is may pagkakatulad sa perfect competition, which is many firms, but it is somehow differentiated products. So for example, restaurants, coffee shops. So dito naman sa fourth market structures, which is the oligopoly. For example dito is technology companies such as the Amazon, Google, and then the Apple. So yun yung apat na market structures. So next is the elasticity. It is the measure of the responsiveness of quantity demanded price changes. So sa elasticity, ang sinasabi dito is yung pabago-bago na presyo ng mga products, ng mga bilihin is may impact sa pag-demand ng mga consumer. So we have the elastic demand and inelastic demand. Now the difference between these two, the elastic demand is sensitive siya to the price changes. So for example, dito is luxury watch. So even though tumaas yung presyo nun, there's a possibility na mag-decrease yung sales kasi nga there is a substitute. Kumbaga meron pang mapagkukunan, meron pang mabibilhan ng mga luxury or ng other luxury brands ng watch. So yun yung sinasabi dito sa elastic demand. Now sa inelastic demand naman is less sensitive siya. So for example dito is pharmaceutical company. Now yung company na yun is may binibenta sila, for example, na medication for life saving. So since sila lang yung mapagkukunan, sila lang yung nagpo-produce or nagsusupply, so there's a possibility na even though tumaas man yung bumaba man yung presyo ng mga bilihin, is magsistay pa rin yung sales nila kasi nga there is no substitute na pwede mong mapagbilyahan, na pwede mong mahanapan ng mga medication na yun. So yun yung dito sa inelastic demand. So we have the last part of our discussion, the role of the government. So it uses taxes and subsidies to influence markets. So in terms of taxes naman, the government imposed taxes to a certain goods to, of course, to reduce consumptions and to to reduce consumption and to raise revenue. And at the same time, the government also set prices, and these are the price selling, or also known as the maximum price, the price floors, also known as the minimum price. So this is to the purpose of the government here is to set prices, to have a controls on essential goods, and also to protect consumers. So another one, they enforces regulation and antitrust laws to prevent market failures. So that would end our discussion. So I hope you learned something from what I've been discussing here. So if you have any questions regarding to what I've discussed today, kindly raise your right hand so that I can answer your question. So any clarification, violent reaction, so that we can proceed to all. Okay, no question. So thank you, class. So we have a short activity for me to know if may natutunan ba kayo or wala. So I want you to find yourselves. I want you to find yourselves a partner to share your thoughts, ideas, and opinions on regarding to what I've discussed today. So after that, I will be giving this activity sheets. So this consists of 10 questions. So this is actually a multiple choice question type, MCQ type. So on these questions, this is this is actually related lang sa discuss ko, all about microeconomics. So kindly get yourself here. So, okay, class, submit your test paper now at the count of 3, 2, 1. So, any late papers will not be accepted. So, that would be all for today's lesson. But do not forget for your assignment. So in your assignment, you can write it in a 1/2 sheet of paper. So in your assignment as well, you have to write it and identify if the given terminologies which is related to our topic is microeconomics or macroeconomics. So your assignment will be submitted next meeting. So class dismissed. Thank you for coming, and see you next week.